Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I am here with a viewer request from Alina. Thank you very much, Alina. It is for the artist named Jassin. That's as close as I can get at the moment in pronunciation. Sorry about that. German artist, very young, I think around 20 years old. The song is Kinder können fies sein. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly too, but I believe in English it means children can be mean. Isn't that the truth? I printed off the English lyrics and I will need them because I don't think there's any CC here. No. So I will be looking at them and I might be reading them. So if you don't like that, see you later, alligator. That's the way it'll have to be. But I hope you'll stick around, and I'm really looking forward to this one. In the description, I'll put a link to the artist channel so you can go there and subscribe and like and comment and support the artist. I really do encourage you to do that. At the very least, hit that subscribe button. It helps channels enormously. I hope you'll hit the subscribe on my channel too. Thank you very much to everyone who has taken a moment to push that button. And also thank you to everyone who's liked videos, shared videos, commented, sent information. I read all of your original messages and I answer as many as I possibly can. If you want to get your request much quicker, check in the description, use one of the donation methods, let me know what you want me to react to, and if you have a shout out name you prefer, you can let me know that too, and you will get your reaction very quickly indeed. The regular list, I don't mind adding to it, but be aware it is super long. I had somebody the other day saying, where's mine? I asked for it in October. Well, we might be halfway to it. That's not my fault. There's just a lot of requests that come in. So if you want to shorten that up to a week or less at the time of this recording, use the donation method. Also, it helps the channel and it helps you too, so that's great. All right, let's go with Jassin, Kinder können fies sein, or children can be mean.
Ich hab ziemlich früh gecheckt, ich bin irgendwie anders. Ich frag mich heute wieder still im dunklen Raum, wie kam das? Ich glaub, es gab zu viel Poeten in meinem Kindergarten. Jassin Awadallah reimt sich ziemlich gut auf Balla Balla. Ich kann mich erinnern, ein Freund in der Kindheit hatte schiefe Zähne. Er hat viel gelacht, dafür wurde er ausgelacht, dann hat er es nicht mehr gemacht. Wir waren alle nur Kinder, niemand hat im Sinn etwas Böses gehabt. Doch sein Way damit
I really like his voice. Kind of a singing rap here, but really nice. And I think I've stopped at the right place. I don't have the German lyrics here. I only have the English ones. I can understand some of it. I realized pretty early on that I was somehow different. I think all kids think that. I asked myself again today quietly in the darkroom, how did that happen? I think there were too many poets in my kindergarten. Maybe it means, he was more sensitive than some of the others. I'm not sure. Could be. Jassin Awadallah rhymes pretty well with Bala Bala. I remember a friend from my childhood had crooked teeth. He laughed a lot and people laughed at him for it. So he stopped. We were all just kids. Nobody meant any harm. Yeah, kids are mean. They're gonna, if they find any weakness or even a perceived weakness, it might not even be real. But if they can convince a few others that it is, then they'll zero in on it and they'll just keep on. And yeah, there's kids that won't smile because he's saying he had crooked teeth, but there's anything that they can pick on, they will pick on. That's for sure. If you're too skinny, you're going to get it. If you're too fat, you're going to get it. If you're too tall, you're going to get it. And when I say too any of these things, I don't mean you really are. I just mean that's the perception, and that's considered a weakness. Even if it isn't a weakness, because in some cases, of course, it can be a strength, all of these different things. So, anyway, things change along the way. But when you're kids, it's so important what the other kids think. Yeah, it's really overwhelming and painful.
Etwas Böses gehabt, doch sein Way damit umzugehen hat gemacht, dass heute fast gar nicht mehr lacht. Ich kann mich erinnern, Fußball war immer mein Ding. Ich hab alles daran geliebt, außer die Kabine nach jedem Training. Für meinen Körper gejudged beim Duschen, bis ich ihn selber verfluchte. Ich hatte noch kein Haar am Sack, deshalb haben sie immer gefragt, ob ich schwul bin. Wir waren alle nur Kinder, niemand hat im Sinn etwas Böses gehabt. Doch ich hab auf Fußball geschissen und mein Vater dadurch unglücklich gemacht. Nie wirklich gerafft, was eigentlich jeder hier will. Deshalb hab ich Mama gefragt und sie hat gesagt, Kinder können fies sein, man nimmt es ihnen nicht krumm. Sie können nicht nichts dafür, sind noch so klein,
Gorgeous
noch so
vocal.
frei von Schuld.
Love the guitar too.
Kinder können fies sein, man nimmt es ihnen nicht krumm. Sie können nichts dafür, sind noch so klein, noch so frei von Schuld. Ja. Ey. Jetzt bin ich schon lange kein Kind, ich wollte es nie wieder sein. Kuscheltiere weggeworfen, mich geöffnet, hab ich jahrelang keim. Dafür immer Musik gemacht, ein paar Jahre nur ausgelacht. Mit 14 hat man mir gesagt, hör auf mit der Scheiße, geh sterben, Kanacke. Auf einmal war ich gern der Kanacke, ließ mir nichts gefallen von keinem. Hab angefangen mit Boxen und hab mir geschworen, ich steck nie wieder ein. Hab mich durchgeboxt und irgendwann stand ich im Ring allein. Hab das Tuch geworfen, fiel meiner Mom in die Arme und war wieder klein. Jetzt seh ich deine Jungs auf Insta machen Hitlergruß. Und du fragst dich wieder, fragst dich, wann werden die endlich groß? Hakenkreuz auf Schultoilette, Hakenkreuz im Klassenchat. Mach 3 Kreuze an dem Tag, an dem ich was Kind sein heißt checke.
Well, there's a bit of a pause, so it's a good spot to start. There's a lot of lyrics. I might not read all of them, but anyway, the kid with the crooked teeth, but his way of dealing with it has made him hardly ever laugh anymore. I can remember, yeah, football was always my thing. I loved everything about it except the locker room. After the training session, judging my body, so you could see them looking and judging there, and thinking maybe he was gay, which, of course, there really isn't anything wrong with that, even if you are. But he's very young still. But I thought maybe we'd grown out of that. But in the past, that was sort of a major diss or whatever. But I didn't give a shit about football and made my dad unhappy because of it. Never really understood what everyone here actually wants. That's why I asked Mom, and she said, kids can be mean, you don't hold it against them, they can't help it, they're so little, so free from guilt, kids can be mean, etc., etc. I haven't been a kid for a long time now. I never wanted to be one again. Threw away my stuffed animals, didn't open up to anyone for years. Instead, I always made music, was laughed at for a few years. At 14, they told me, stop with that shit, go die, you wog. So again, being criticized, I guess, for his music, and also I'm not even sure what his ancestry is. Started boxing and swore to myself I'll never take a beating again. Fought my way through, and eventually I stood alone in the ring, threw in the towel, fell into my mother's arms, and was small again. Now I see your boys on Insta giving the Hitler salute, and you ask yourself, when will they finally grow up? Well, they won't, because it'll be a new generation and a new generation and a new that's the problem. And will humanity ever grow up? I guess that's the question. I don't know. I think sometimes I thought we were moving in the right direction. Right now I'm wondering if we're moving backwards, in some parts of the world at least, but I'm still cautiously optimistic that we can move forward. Swastika in the school toilets, swastika in the class chat. I'll be so relieved the day I understand what being a kid really means. So, yes, the swastika and other symbols and things, some kids use them because they are legitimately racist, literally racist, and it's a problem, no doubt. A lot don't have a clue what it means and going along with the crowd. But that can be dangerous too, right? That's what happens. If you can baffle enough minds and get them to follow you, guess what happens? And again, we're facing that again today from a major superpower. Okay, but we're talking about kids here, but you know what? Grown-ups are just bigger kids. Lugging all of this around with them.
Kinder können fies sein, man nimmt es ihnen nicht krumm. Sie können nichts dafür, sind noch so klein, noch so frei von Schuld. Kinder können fies sein, man nimmt es ihnen nicht krumm. Sie können nichts dafür, sind noch so klein, noch so frei von Schuld. Wann werden die endlich groß? 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 Oder bleiben sie so bis zum Tod?
Okay, all the credits there. As I say, I'll put a link to the artist channel so you can check everything out there as well. Let me just back up a little bit so we can see. Jassin, excellent. Yeah, kids can be mean. Don't hold it against them. They can't help it. When they're children, it's true. They're going to go through all different kinds of stages. They're going to try out different things. Some of them are going to be okay, not too dangerous, and you just wait it out. Other things, they need a little correction. They need a little adult supervision. It doesn't help when the adults are also racist or have other issues, prejudiced in other ways. Hey, tell me, when will they finally grow up? When will they finally grow up, or will they stay like this until they die? Some of them will, unfortunately. Some of them won't change no matter what. Some of them, somewhere along the way, will learn. It's often when you end up having a friend or a family member that you didn't know was gay, or you didn't know was trans, or you didn't know that, in some cases their ancestry, it's not obvious. Sometimes it is obvious, sometimes it's not obvious. And then you find out, and it's very difficult at that point to suddenly dislike them. I guess that can happen too, and you can disown them all of a sudden, but I know in a lot of cases, people who you thought would never be accepting, so hopefully their daughter or their son doesn't go that direction, because he or she is never going to understand. And sometimes they're the ones that understand first, and the ones you thought would be so understanding aren't. So you never know, but some people will unfortunately go to their grave having all of these issues, and then never going to move forward, never going to grow up. Anyway, amazing song, wonderful lyrics. A lot of people are going to relate to this in one way or another. When they were children, being teased or picked on or bullied. I certainly went through that. I was very skinny, very tiny, very shy, pathologically shy. Still am to some extent, child. And so, yeah, I was an easy target. The only thing was I did have my intelligence, and sometimes they were baffled by that. I could sometimes slow them down, but definitely understand, that feeling. But I also remember, even as a child, or at least as a teenager, kind of feeling bad for the so-called bully, and they were pretty bad sometimes, because I just thought they were stupid. So, maybe that was the problem. Maybe I didn't fit in for that reason. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure a lot of people have had issues along the way, either with racism, with your body shape is wrong, you have crooked teeth, as they mentioned in the song, or whatever else they can pick on. Let me know what you think of this song. Let me know what you think of this artist. If you want to, if you like the video, give it a like, but you can also let me know in the comments. Or about anybody else if you like to, or you can just let me know how you're doing or what your experience is. As I say, children can be mean, but they can also be wonderful, and a part of it depends on how they're guided and what they're taught and what they see from the adults as well. But like I say, a lot of us, we all have children inside of us, and the question is, do we grow and learn and get better or not? Check in the description for a link to the artist channel. You can scroll down and check some other links down there as well, including how to bump up your request if you should like to do so. In the meantime, keep listening, keep having fun. It is Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Until next time, bye bye for now.